you have a healthy Teofimo Lopez in there, he's gonna bring it, and he's gonna entertain the crowd.
Definitely. Do you feel that this is gonna be the toughest test of his career? We know that Shakur. This is not the toughest fight. What was the toughest fight?
It's never been the toughest fight for my son. You know, the toughest fight for my son is him being healthy. You know, he's a smash. Yeah. So, you know, and we got to be careful with that because losing the weight. You know, we're moving after this fight. We're moving up to 147.
Oh, I'm not gonna allow You're gonna stay at 147. All right. You're gonna fight that title. It's all love, right, Keyshawn? It's all love. It's all love, right? It's all love, right, Keyshawn? Yeah. It's all leave, right? All right. That's it.
So yeah, man. Don't miss the fight, man. January 31st, man. It's gonna be crazy.
It's definitely gonna be crazy.
And I think Shakur is gonna come to fight, man. I really do.
But you think it'll be a tough?
He has a lot to prove.
But it'll be a close test, or is you saying that Teo's gonna blow him out?
No, I'm not saying that.
It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be
a good fight, and let the best man win.
Absolutely. And then what happens after this? Just one more question. What happens after this going?
We're gonna call out somebody.
All right, Coach.
I don't want to say who's
That's it, man. Thank you so much for your time, Senior. All right, the takeover.
Senior here.
Got you, brother.
Talk to me about, obviously, your son's fight, coming up against Shakur Stevenson. Were there any concessions or stipulations that you guys had to give up to make this fight? I mean, are you happy with the result?
Nah, man, we've been wanting to fight everybody, man. The only reason we didn't fight Devin Haney was because what is there to fight Devin Haney for? You know what I'm saying? Like my son said, he wants to fight somebody. Man, Devin Haney got dropped, 5 times? You know, what are we going to win by beating this guy? And then we have to go all the way to Saudi Arabia after my son, wasn't, had a little bit of, not getting along with Turkey or whatever it is, but now we good with Turkey. We never meant anything wrong with him, and I'm really thankful that he's giving us this opportunity and getting us these big fights, you know what I'm saying? And he's putting boxing on the map because he's getting people to fight, or real fights, And I mean, this is a fight that everybody has to see because you don't see these fights, man. It's not like, he's trying to, I think Turkey's trying to bring the 80s back, the 90s back, where everybody was fighting everybody. Nobody cared about the I think Floyd Mayweather started that, So we're here to, I tell my son, man, we just got to fight the best. We lose. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? But I believe that if you fight the best, you're going to get better every time. If you keep on hiding and fighting guys that are not going to make you better, you're going to lose sooner or later, So we got a lot of experience already. Shakur hasn't fought nobody like my son, and let's say, let the best man win.
You mentioned some of his weaknesses that you see, flaws in Shakur's game. What are some of those
I can't say that, man. Come on, man. It's like Donald Trump, right? He doesn't say his secrets,
Now, obviously, your son mentioned to us that, obviously, when he wins and gets past Shakur, Devin Haney's value
the thing that people don't understand is that southpaws don't have a lot of arsenal. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a lot of arsenals. And if you know how to fight a southpaw, you could beat them all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy. For him, it's easy. You know what I'm saying? And for me, too, because my son, like I said, my son destroys southpaws. You saw what he did to Magdaleno, man. So I see a fight. I see a competitive fight in the beginning, and then once my son figures it out and he starts dancing in there and doing his thing, he's gonna win.
What version of Shakur do you expect to come out first?
I wish the best. I wish the best. Cepeda almost dropped him, man. You know what I'm saying? And Cepeda's not a person that does does punching placements. He just throws punches. My son is not like that. My son is gonna figure this guy out, and you guys gonna see it.
But do you think Shakur will engage like he did or tried to with Cepeda?
I don't think so. Nobody does. Nobody does. Once you feel my son's power, it's not easy, man. You know what I'm saying? Barbosa felt it. That's why he wasn't committing the way he was supposed to.
What's good, Just Do family? It's your boy KB, back to get boxing is Just Do. And man, you got some interesting things and interesting developments going on in the sport of boxing. And no introduction needed, man. Y'all know it's your boy. We getting right to it, man. Teofimo Lopez Senior, man. I always say you put a camera and a microphone in front of these dudes and you let them talk, they gonna expose themselves sooner or later. And I know a lot of people may not get what I got from this, but y'all heard the clips, man. Teofimo Lopez Sr. had a lot to say about Shakur Stevenson. He don't think this is going to be his son's toughest fight. His son destroys southpaws. Southpaws don't have no arsenal. He's easy to figure out. It's easy for my son. He had some bold claims from Teofimo Lopez Senior. He said it's easy for him. So I can't wait to see this fight. But he also said something very interesting that caught my ear, man. He said after this fight, we moving up to 147, welterweight. And he said, we got to be careful making his weight, and it sounded like he already building an excuse just in case they lose. He going to say it was difficult to make the weight or something weird like that. I can see it now. They've expressed thoughts and, about going up to 147 pounds, but they never pulled the trigger. They did say that they was going to chase the other belts. They said, Teofimo Lopez Jr., he said he was the takeover and he was going to beat up the other champions and different things like that. Then when he got an opportunity, he said no to multiple dudes, from Matias to Devin Haney. He chose Steve Claggett when he could have fought more notable names. I mean, you name it. This guy's been avoiding certain fighters or saying no to certain fighters for whatever reason. He beat Arnold Barboza up. Good win there, but Shakur Stevenson is far better athlete, more athletic, a lot smarter, just on a different level than the Arnold Barboza. It was funny that his dad mentioned Jesse Magdaleno that Teofimo knocked out brutally at 135 pounds as a southpaw, but it just goes to show you where his head is at. Like, if you think Shakur Stevenson is anything like Jesse Magdaleno, then you sadly mistaken and you're already behind the 8 ball. But sounds like they want to give Shakur credit for being a good fighter, but at the same token, he's still giving them the backhanded compliments. He said it'd be a close fight. It's going to be competitive. May the best man win. Then in another interview, he'll say how it's going to be competitive, but then Teofimo going to just start pulling away. And I get it, man. He's supposed to say exactly what he's saying. He think his son going to win. But he also said, if we lose, we lose. And it's almost like, Shakur don't speak like that, respectfully, man. I'm not saying that just because he said that they're going to lose, but you're already putting that in the air, and it's almost like halfway admitting that this fight is going to be very difficult and you can lose it. Just like Teofimo Lopez, when he did the sit-down earlier with Shakur Stevenson, he mentioned, it won't be no unifications if Shakur takes my belt because he's not going to fight the other guys. He's going to vacate the title and let, essentially Keyshawn Davis fight for a belt. But it sounds like in a weird way they're kind of admitting to defeat, or at least they know for sure that Shakur Stevenson is going to be the most difficult fight I think they've had to date. And that's just my opinion, Who knows what happens on fight night? Maybe Teofimo comes out there, rises to the occasion, same way he did against Lomachenko, same way he did against Josh Taylor. You get what I'm saying? Maybe he got something in store for Shakur that Shakur is not going to be prepared for. And anything is possible in the sport of boxing. This is a 50-50 fight that if either guy is not on their A game, they could lose this fight. But it was interesting to hear him say about the weight. It's almost like, he's hinting that it's an issue making the weight. You look at Teofimo, he is a muscular dude. He got muscle on him, so it's no surprise if he's outgrown 140. But this was the first time that I've ever heard him mention, we got to be careful about making a weight as if it was an issue. So in my mind, it's a built-in excuse. He's over there talking about if we lose, we lose. Then he also threw Devin Haney in the mix and he dissed him. And he said, fight Devin Haney for what? This kid got dropped 5 times, what would fighting him do for us? But it seems like him and Teofimo are on 2 different wavelengths, because Teofimo was saying the reason they didn't fight Devin Haney is because he didn't have no motion. You saying you didn't fight him because he got dropped a bunch of times and it wouldn't do anything for you. But we all know that's nonsense, because you picked Steve Claggett and that win did absolutely nothing for your career. So these excuses that they make as to why they didn't fight top quality opposition is silly and is laughable. Devin Haney should be a guy that you're gunning for, especially if you're moving up to 147 pounds next, how you said. Then go ahead. You bad, right? Fight Devin Haney. Y'all got history. It's been going back and forth. That should be one of the number 1 fights that you're gunning for if you move to welterweight. And that's just my thoughts. But We're going to see how all of this unfold. Teofimo had a lot to say. He said southpaws are easy. They don't got no arsenal. He sounded silly. He's saying a lot of things that's making me feel like he's going to somewhat overlook or underrate or underestimate Shakur Stevenson. They're going to be in it. By the time he realizes that they're going to be in the fight, Teo going to possibly be down rounds and they're going to find themselves up its creek. You get what I'm saying? So we're going to see. But that's my thoughts, man. Get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Is this news to y'all? And what do y'all think Teofimo should do if he's moving up to 147 pounds next? Do you really think he's moving up? Or is his dad building an excuse already just in case they lose? And as always, man, y'all let me know if I gave boxing its just due, because that's what I do over here at Just Do Boxing. Till the next one, I'm out. Peace.